Hello and welcome to the Gaia update for October 2016. I'm Adrienne Elise, and I'm here because I think it's important that we have support for our spiritual growth and our ascension process, being able to bloom our individual gifts. And I've gone through so much and learned so much to be able to do that for myself, and I hope to be a support for you. So we have a whole bunch of planets, or a whole bunch of energy in Libra, speaking to the changes, this big shift we're in, this big planetary shift. How we break down and build new structures has a lot to do with relationships. And so that can be really intense. There's a powerful time for deepening of relationships, or a reevaluating of relationships, or new relationships. But all of it is about learning to relate in a new way. Not from this place of scarcity and lack where we're always trying to fill a hole, always trying to find a way to complete ourselves, but coming at the relationship in a real and balanced way, like Libra would like us to do. We are reinventing ourselves, humanity, and here we stand at the crux of like pretty much a corner of time. We talked about the Pluto Uranus square that has been the main astrology over the 2012 astrology and up till the spring of this year. And what's happening is that Mars, after that powerful retrograde it had all summer, is now in Capricorn. And so the energy with Jupiter there in Libra is this first part of October is really powerful energy around Jupiter, our expansion planet, the one that wants us to learn and grow and push to the edges of our experience, is in the sign of Libra, squaring up with Mars and Capricorn. So Mars, our male action planet, the energy here is right for us to finally start taking some steps on building this new world. But with all this energy in Libra, and especially Jupiter in Libra, we're being asked to build it through changing our deep fundamental understanding of what it means to relate to each other, what it means to be intimate, what it means to support each other, and learn from each other. And so this is the powerful energy at the beginning of the month, at the first half of the month, is really around Mars in Capricorn being like, we want to build new structures that can last. We want them to be real. We want them to be practical, but we do want to start this mountain, go up the hill. But we need the information that we got from Mercury retrograde. So Mercury's coming out of the shadow. Mercury was retrograde in Virgo, the Virgin. What do we need to clean up? Guess what? Our personal relationships. So we've been waiting for Mercury to come out of the shadow so that we can start to take these first steps forward and rebuilding this new world. And guess what? The focus right now is on building our ability to be able to learn and grow and relate to each other. So Mars is really powerful because what's going on is that we're having this flashback kind of, and this energy of the square, of Pluto-Uranus square, even though they're out of their square for good now. They're not close enough to call an exact square anymore. They're still pretty close. And Mars in Capricorn is coming up with a conjunction with Pluto. In the second half of the month, this is really what we're going to be feeling. And so Pluto's the destroyer there in the sign of our structures, our laws, our rules, our ways of going about things, the way we've always done it. And so Mars is ready to take action in a new way, coming up against Pluto, really activating and also squaring up with Uranus. So Mars, after that long sojourn in Scorpio and Sagittarius, is now coming up to as like the reality check here on this process of how we move forward. And so with all that focus on relationships, we're really looking at rebuilding our relationships as the beginning foundation of our new world. And so that's really powerful as we have those. It's a cardinal. So Mars is making a cardinal cross again, and the cardinal energy is starting up. And so that's the Pluto-Uranus square. We had 3 years of massive amounts of cardinal squares and T-squares and activation going on. Now this last year, in half of 2015, we moved into the mutable square energy. So one of the other major things that's happening this month is that Saturn has been square Neptune pretty much since last fall, in and out, and they are coming out of their square now for the first time. What's interesting, though, is that as they come out of their square, which Saturn is our reality planet and Neptune is our dreams, visions, collective consciousness energy. So it's a wake-up call. How do we expand into our future? How do we make a new world? And what is real and what is not real? So what we found from these big planetary aspects like this is that we don't really feel the effect of them until after they separate out. And so now we're just starting to get the hints and clues, especially with this Mercury coming out of the shadow and that eclipse cycle in Virgo, saying, what do we need to clean up? And then, so we have this powerful energy here of Saturn square Neptune being like, how can we really clean it up when we don't know what it is, like deep in our subconscious, that is ruling us? And so we're coming to these places of really understanding now, digging through the shadow, digging through our collective belief systems. It's not very fun sometimes, especially when the people you love or thought you loved you are bringing it up for you. And it feels like it can just be a real kind of stressful place, but the potential for growth right now is so powerful. Do not shirk from these opportunities. Say, being like, okay, I'm understanding that the most powerful lessons I need to move forward into creating my new world is through these relationships, these people in my life. And so I'm going to show up and be present with this, and try to bring gratitude to this situation, even if it is triggering our deepest core issues, because that's really what relationships do, and that's what we're here to work on right now, so we can build that new world. And so we've got Saturn square Neptune coming out. So we're getting this reality check. So this might be in your relationships where you're waking up to the point, oh, wait, I thought this was love, because this intensity of emotion is what I experienced with what I thought was getting my needs met as a child. And so now I need to recreate this intensity. And I thought that was love, or I thought that this game was love, or I thought that abuse was love. And so at the core of all of this, Libra energy is really giving us an opportunity to come to a self-love and a self-respect that we haven't been able to before. Of course, that's the first step in healthy relationships, is a healthy relationship to ourselves. So all this stuff is coming to the surface. And the powerful thing is that as Saturn and Neptune are coming out of their square, they're actually making exact aspects with the nodes, the moon's nodes. And so we have Saturn squaring the north node, and we have Neptune in Pisces up near the south node opposing the north node. And so the north node and the south node are our future and past karma. So here we are. Again, we haven't been able to see the truth enough to be able to move into the future, because we have to see the truth enough to let go of the past and rewrite a new story into the future. So we're kind of suspended in this place of like trying to find these subconscious belief systems that we've just have become our reality, but are not really going to be the right basis of moving forward into this new world. Those structures are falling away. So a lot of this unrest, this feeling of insecurity, all this relationships coming up is about the structures that we thought were holding us are falling away. They're false structures. This financial structure, this political structure, our whole social structure is being completely remade on other levels. And now is the time on the planet we're going to start to see those changes come forward. And then, so what's that mean in your life? When your structures fall apart and rebuild before your eyes, because Mars is saying, hey, it's time to get to work on this. Mars is ready to get to work on this in Capricorn. And we're getting some great forward motion with Mercury coming out of that shadow. And we have a beautiful harmonizing energy of these three planets in Libra. Mercury starting on the 8th. Mercury, the Sun, and Jupiter all until later in the month. So we're going to have some great Libra energy to help us face these structures and truths about reality, and be able to make these changes so that we can see where the past is no longer serving us and leap off. We're really being asked to leap off into a whole new reality, and it's very disconcerting, because the structure we're used to, although it may have not been healthy, it may have been more a situation of addiction to intensity or emotional abuse or something like that, but it was still what was holding us, you know. And so to leap off completely, which is what these stars are asking us to do, but with great support right now. But we are being asked to leap off. We are being asked to make a choice into the future. And so Mercury, the messenger, coming out of that retrograde in Virgo and the eclipse cycle, what we need to clean up, and coming with all this clarity. So October is a month of clarity. It's a month of seeking harmony, using the truths that are coming forward to look and be able to face and love ourselves through uncovering the nitty-gritty of our patterning, of our belief systems that keep holding us back. These are getting very frayed at the seams. And so if we can either make a leap and cut those ties to the past and rewrite those stories, or we can kind of dangle there for a while until the thread gets completely bare and then drops us off the other side. And so take this opportunity to face the truth, look into yourself, to find that relationship with yourself, to make a commitment to a healthy relationship to yourself as a basis to a healthy relationship out there in the world, and trust and love and forgive, knowing that the people in your life are bringing you in the most harmonious way possible the lessons you need to completely let go of those old belief systems. And so it's really powerful, because we've got the Saturn square Neptune, and then also in the north and south nodes playing in with this mutable energy. This is adjustment energy. This is like, okay, in order to move forward, we have to be flexible. We have to be willing to grow and learn and change moment to moment, day to day. But at the same time, we're kind of getting this energy back of that cardinal square, because Mars is the ruler of Aries, so really activating to the cardinal energy, and being in Capricorn where Pluto's been, and being like, come on you guys, like how long are we going to wallow in the muck? You know, Mars spent all summer in Scorpio for us to be able to get down to the nitty-gritty and not hide anymore from these places that we've been blaming everyone else for. But the source of the issue is within ourselves. Loving and forgiving ourselves. This Libra energy is key for that. So please use the next couple of weeks of this Libra energy, of Mercury coming out of the shadow, of this mutable cross, seeing the clarity, being willing to look at the truth, to be able to make the most and of to release these patterns. If you didn't catch the new moon activation that was September 30th, go back and get that great new moon in Libra activation to reset your relationships and reset your relationship to yourself and to source energy. So I'm Adrienne Elise. Thank you so much for journeying with me. I hope you have a wonderful October and can find the support you need for your journey of this beautiful time of spiritual expansion, so it can be harmonious and sweet for you. And so thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, namaste.